Lefton is a wealthy merchant who has been competing with Miss Sparkle for decades. They're always at each other's throats.
This tie is a piece of evidence, right?
That's right! That's the one! This tie belongs to Lefton, and it just so happens to be the murder weapon in this case. Could the evidence be any more solid than this? Lefton snuck into the changing room and waited for poor Miss Sparkle to enter before using this very tie to brutally kill her. And then he stuffed Zhongshan's ring into her mouth as a way to try and frame him. What a tragedy! If it weren't for your incisive detective work, the murderer would still be at large. This guy, Zhongshan, is a card shark who used to play Get the Koi with Miss Sparkle. He gambled away his entire family fortune.
This ring is a piece of evidence, right?
That's right! That's the one! What would a penniless wretch of a gambler like Zhongshan be doing at such a fancy fashion store as this? Because he was planning on robbing it! He'd stolen Lefton's tie and was just about to get away when he saw Miss Sparkle, the one who had stolen his family fortune from him. So, he darted into the changing room and tried to get back his ring. Who could have known that Miss Sparkle would end up swallowing that ring? All Zhongshan could do was use the tie in his hand to try and strap down her neck to prevent her from swallowing the ring. But he unexpectedly managed to strangle Miss Sparkle to death. What a tragedy! If it weren't for your incisive detective work, the murderer would still be at large. Wright is a Pepeshi citizen, and Miss Sparkle was a low-key bigot, always laughing at his height.
This stool is a piece of evidence, right?
That's right! That's the one! Miss Sparkle always teased poor Wright until he was unable to take it any longer. Eventually, murderous intent was born. Taking advantage of his position, he stole Lefton's tie and told Miss Sparkle, "Miss, please come with me to the changing room. I'd like to show you a matching tie." Miss Sparkle never thought Wright would retaliate against her, so she went back with him to the changing room. As Wright stood atop the stool and helped Miss Sparkle try on the tie as usual, he then suddenly pulled it tight. And that's how he killed Miss Sparkle. What a tragedy! If it weren't for your incisive detective work, the murderer would still be at large. What do you mean by that?
Enjoy Clocky's. Enjoy Clocky's pizza. Every stick of the clock is a tasty one.
This ring is a piece of evidence, right?
That's right! That's the one! Zhongshan stormed into the changing room to try and get his ring back, flustering Miss Sparkle, who swallowed it. Who would have guessed that the ring would get stuck in her throat? Zhongshan repaid evil with kindness and tried to borrow a tie to help Miss Sparkle squeeze out the ring. But sadly, she couldn't be saved. What a tragedy! If it weren't for your incisive detective work, the three suspects would all be facing grave injustice. What do you mean by that?
This tie is a piece of evidence, right?
That's right! That's the one! Miss Sparkle stole Lefton's tie to see if it would fit her. But who knew that Lefton had an anti-theft device installed on it? After Miss Sparkle affixed the tie to her neck, it rapidly contracted, thereby strangling the poor lady. She tried swallowing her ring to preserve her breathing passage, but unfortunately, she was beyond saving. What a tragedy! If it weren't for your incisive detective work, the 3 suspects would all be facing grave injustice. What do you mean by that?
This stool is a piece of evidence, right?
That's right! That's the one! Miss Sparkle's business failed, and she was on the brink of bankruptcy. As she passed by her regular fashion store, she ran into her old nemesis, the bullying shopkeeper from the store, and the gambler whose life she'd ruined. And those 3 all looked happier than her! Miss Sparkle's ego wouldn't allow that to happen. And so she stole Lefton's tie, placed Zhongshan's ring in her mouth, stepped up onto the stool, and hanged herself from a beam in Wright's shop. And her motive was to try and frame all 3 of them. What a tragedy! If it weren't for your incisive detective work, the 3 suspects would all be facing grave injustice.
I'd rather not play around. We don't have very much time.
Here's the Penacony News.
Just as you said, solving puzzles is all just a cover for something else. That girl is toying with us. What should we do now? Just keep getting led around by her?
Truly, Miss Sparkle is a fascinating person. She seems chaotic inside, but easy enough to understand. Like a performer on the stage or a child hungering for attention. This game will be over soon. This time, we're going to catch her.
Miss Black Swan, Mr. Sampo, you're finally here! I am the famed detective of Penacony, and next to me here is my assistant detective. A murder in a locked room has left us all stumped.
As expected, another change in setting.
Yesterday, my assistant and I were visiting the famed artist Miss Sparkle, and we stayed the night. But this morning, Miss Sparkle didn't come out of her bedroom. The butler, Zhongshan, said that the door was locked from inside, so we ought not to have disturbed her. But Miss Sparkle had never slept in so late, and no matter how hard he knocked, there was no answer from inside. As soon as I heard, I knew something must have happened, so I acted decisively and broke the door down to get inside. The room was covered in spattered blood. Miss Sparkle's body was lying right in the middle, her face white as snow. One look told me she'd been dead for some time. Thinking quickly, I grabbed the artist's canvas to staunch Miss Sparkle's blood, but alas, poor Miss Sparkle! She's left us now forever! Besides us and Zhongshan the butler, Lefton the cook and Wright the driver were also at the scene of the crime. What would you like to do?
Presumably, Miss Sparkle is now carefully arranging the next crime scene, right? Why don't you skip all this rigmarole and just have a heart-to-heart conversation with me? It might tickle a little.
Wait up! Wait up!
Honest kid. I know where you are, Miss Sparkle.
No
cheating!
Huh. Mr. Assistant Detective. You seem to be getting anxious.
No, it's... This locked room murder case is pretty fun. I want to guess who it was.
Let's go. Can't keep a girl waiting, can we?
Hey, Miss Black Swan, wait up, wait up! Miss Sparkle has one final message to announce. Ding-a-ling! Now comes the most exciting and romantic moment in any drama. The audience challenge. Everyone knows that the mighty masked fool Sparkle can change her appearance to look like others. And in this drama, the villain Sparkle has disguised herself as another character. So then, I put to you, which character is it? Also, if you're interested in the locked room case that the memo keeper ignored, you can try out your powers of deduction. I put lots into coming up with the puzzle, so don't let it go to waste. Thus, the masked genius Miss Sparkle has thrown down the gauntlet. All the clues are in motion. Happy hunting!
Miss, why didn't you just do this earlier?
Such a crude approach violates my aesthetics of memory. But as a means to an end, I need to put this aside for a more indifferent process.
There's no weird, sweet dreams troupe, nor is there evidence strewn all over the place. We finally caught up with her. But what's that thing? A Bella Boggian trash can? In Penacony?
Hey, dear Memo Keeper and Mr. Coldfeet, you made it. I didn't expect you to skip the final puzzle. That's on me. All right. Miss Sparkle cares not for the faults of ants like me. Come then, this is the final question. Listen up. What creature has 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, and 3 legs at night?
No murder case this time around?
Sometimes it's nice to take things easy. Come on, dear, give me your answer then.
Since it's a classic puzzle, the answer is people, right?
Wah, wah. Wrong answer. How could it be as boring as that? The correct answer is Sparkle. When sleepy in the morning, she can't get out of bed. She runs about all afternoon in a fluster, so is exhausted by evening, but has to still raise a hand to hold a toothbrush. Poor Sparkle. So naturally, she's got 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, and 3 legs at night.
What the heck was that jibber-jabber?
What a cute answer.
Thanks for the compliment, my dear. But you can't try to fool me, seeing as you've just tried to cheat. Wrong answer. Accept your punishment.
Huh? Holy smokes! What's up with this guy? He just came out swinging from nowhere! Huh? No voices? This guy's pretty quiet. Miss, let's hurry up. Flip open the lid and find the girl.
Wait. Don't move. Something's off.
This! You killed Sparkle! How is this possible? How can people die inside Penacony's dreamscape? In the Garden of Recollection. What did you do? You did this, didn't you? Killing people in their dreams. Only the Remembrance has the powers to do that. You planned it out all from the start because she teased you and was pranking you. You wanted to kill her. Oh, I understand. You refused to let me go because you wanted to drag me into all of this. If I don't agree, I'll end up just like she did.
There is no death inside Penacony's dreamscape. That's the promise of the family and the blessing of the harmony. Not even a memo keeper can break this barrier. There's no need to take such great pains. If you just want confirmation, I've already told you the answer, Miss Sparkle.
Miss Sparkle? Who are you talking to?
You. Sparkle has disguised herself as another character. Wouldn't that be you, Mr. Sampo?
This? Don't jump to conclusions! If you want to accuse me of being Sparkle, you have to provide the evidence. Oh, I'm afraid evidence is a little too hard to come by. So, deduction will do.